Andy Hillier for sound effects in Ormskirk, and today I've got a couple of presets for the HX Stomp. They're two Van Halen presets. I've done a kind of an earlier and a later version. So early on he used a Marshall amp, and then later on he used his PV 5150 amp. So I've done two little presets with those to get you that classic kind of Van Halen sound. I'm going to talk through the presets and tell you exactly what I've done on each one, letting you know all the settings on each thing so you can just put it straight into your HX Stomp or any Helix device. But I'll also put a link in the description down below so you can download these presets as well. What I think of it, if you could subscribe to the channel, which is Sound Effects, give us a like and give me some comments down below, that would be awesome as well. Okay, let's get on to it. Okay, so let's take you through the presets that I've done. So the first one is based around his Marshall type sound. He had I think a super lead, really cranked up Marshall. Okay, so I've named it Van Halen 1 and 2, just because it's like the older stuff. As you can see, I've got it on like the stomp box mode, so that you've got this a phaser that you can turn on and off, and a chorus that you can turn on and off. We'll see that in a second. So let's go to View and see what we've got. We'll start with the amp. So let's go across, and we've got the Brit Plexi Bright channel. The drive is at 7.6, the bass at 2.5, the mid at 7.8, treble on 9.2, presence on 7.9, channel volume is at 5.8, the master is at 10, the sag at 4, hum at 5, we've got the ripple at 5, bias at 7, bias X at 5, and it's going through a 4x12 greenback 25 cab, just the dynamic 57 mic at a distance of 1 inch, low cut off, high cut off, reflections at 0%, level at 0 dB. So that's the amp, based on an old Marshall amplifier, and it's because the drive's all the way up at 7.6, it's quite cranked. With that, we want, because it's 80s, you need like big plate reverb. So the last block I've got here, the orange one here, is the plate reverb. The decay is at 6.5, pre-delay at 39 milliseconds, low cut at 90 Hz, high cut at 4.6 kilohertz, and the mix is at 33%, level at 0 dB, and the trails are off. So that's the plate reverb, so we've got a nice big reverb. You can hear the delay on there as well. Let's turn the delay off for a second so you can hear the reverb. So quite a big plate reverb sound. Lasts forever. We just touched on it, the next thing along. So we've got a delay. So I've got a digital delay, just to add a bit of extra. You can hear a little, I haven't got many like of the trails. It's only kind of pretty much hitting one extra hit on it, on the echo. So let's go through that. It's a digital delay. I've got the time at 374 milliseconds, feedback at 7%, so it's quite low, it's only doing one repeat. We've got the bass at 50%, treble at 50%, and the mix is really low as well, it's only down at 10%, level at 0, and the trail's off. So we get that little delay. Okay, and then, so that's my main kind of sound, and that's what I used on the intro for that stuff. But also, we can add, I've added a couple of extra modules. A chorus, which I've set for like on the foot switch so we can turn it on and off. So a chorus, he uses... He often does it with like a kind of a less distorted kind of sound, but there's a chorus there for you. So it's just the one that says chorus, and we've got a speed at 2.5, depth at 8.1, and a pre-delay at 3.2. It's a triangle wave, tone at 5, mix at 46%, and level at 0 dB. So it's just got a chorus for that. not quite the right sound for that, but it gives it a rough idea. Let's turn the chorus off, and then the first block, I've put a sort of phase 90. It's a script mod phase, which is based on phase 90, with a rate at 1.9, mix at 50%, level at +1 dB. That's all the settings you get on that, and that's for your kind of classic. That kind of stuff. You know, used to use a phase a lot, so that's on there as well. So that's my first preset, and then later on he started to use a PV 5150 amp. So I've got another preset, which I've labelled, surprisingly enough, Van Halen 5150. Again, I've got it on like this sort of stomp box mode, so you can turn off. I've got a delay, like digital delay, that you can turn on and off, and the script, like the phase 90, similar to the other one. So let's have a look what I've got on this channel. Now, if we go across, the plate reverb is the same, but the amp is different. So the amp is what they've called PV Panama, which is based around the 5150, or it's modelled on the 5150. It's really like distorted amp, so the drive is right down at 3, but it's really like a bit more shreddy kind of sound than the Marshall. We've got the bass at 6, mid at 6.2, treble at 8.3, presence at 2.5, channel volume is at 7.6, the master at 4, sag at 5.3, hum at 5, ripple at 5, bias at 6.3, bias X at 5, and resonance, I suppose that must be, at 5.5. The cab is different. It's a 4x12 Uber V30. It's mic'd up by a dynamic 409 mic. It's just the one that I thought sounded the best. Distance at 2 inches, low cut off, high cut off, reflections at 0, level at 0 dB. So different amp, sounds different, sounds more shreddy. All that sort of stuff. It sounds very Van Halen straight away. And then the next block along, I've got a digital delay which we can turn on and off with the second foot switch. And the time's at, so digital delay, time at 398 milliseconds, feedback at 11%, bass at 50%. Helps if I press the right button. Let's go across. We've got treble at 50%, mix at 9%, level at 0 dB, and trails off. So that's a digital delay. It's slightly different. So pretty similar to the other one, slightly different. So let's go across to the chorus. Now the chorus I've left on all the time. I've put a like subtle chorus on. So it's at 2.5 with a depth at 8.1 with a pre-delay of 3.2. It's triangle wave, tone at 5, but the mix is right down at 18%. But it just kind of gives it a, oh, and level at 0 dB. It just gives it a more kind of 80s kind of sound, I think. Or sort of early 90s, late 80s kind of, lots of chorus used everywhere, but it's subtle, but it makes a big difference. This is with it off, with it on. Okay, and then the last thing we've got on here is the script, the phase 90, same from before, rate at 1.9, 50% mix, level at +1 dB. That's all your settings, and I've put that so you can turn it on and off with the first switch. So there you go, there's a couple of presets for your HX Stomp or Helix device. I'll put a link in the description so you can download the presets, make it easy for you. Hopefully you've enjoyed this little video. If you have, give us a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and put some comments in the comment section down below. Let us know what you think, any ideas you want for videos, put them in the comment section down below. I've been Andy Hillier, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.